Alright, we are taking a look here at the hauling website and the angled things that we're particularly focusing on here right now. So, if you come into one of these, let's go to one that does not have any angled stuff set up just so you can see where it would go. You have a slanted section here in the background area, and you have to click that. And then you get several more options of what you can do. So if you're ever building a new one, that's what you got to do to be able to see all the options. We didn't want to clutter it up with things that you don't need. And you'll see down here on this map one here, we've got things set up. We're using column shortcodes inside of this. Most of the time, you're going to end up needing to use that as a part of what you're doing because you're needing it to be then you have some control over where the text or graphics or whatever it is are appearing there relative to the angles. And so we have it on this one that we have the map on the left, and then we have the text on the right, and we're wanting it to be that then there's this overlap of that where the text gets to stay completely on the gray side of things, and then the map is touching it a little bit. So we have everything checked off in here. So first, just for the background part of things, and you can still set an image as the background for the whole thing in addition to the slanted part, and you can still set a background color, all the normal things you would be able to do. And then if you do the slanted section though, then you have a choice. Right now we just have two choices, 59 degrees or 121 degrees of the angle of the slant that you're going to be doing. If you need some other amount, let us know and we can get it set up. It's not a terribly difficult process for us to set it up, but we needed it to be that there was some level of control so that there aren't just unlimited angles. It's not quite as simple as that. So then we have the slanted angle, and so 59 degrees or 121. So 59 degrees is going left to right, and then the 121 is right to left. So you can see those two different angles there. The second one here is 121. And the reason that they need to add up to 180 is because we're trying to create a situation in which these touch. And then we have the angle left right percentage, and then that's 41%. And what we're saying here is how far from left to right is the place where we're going to have that crossing over. And if we look down to this next one, the one that is the blue gravel load thing here, then you can see that it's at 121 for the degrees, and this one's at 59. That's how they're able to meet together at these opposite angles and make a little triangle-y angle thing. And then the left-right percentage, though, stays the same between those. Those need to match up if you want them to show up where they hit at a point. If they were different percentages, then they would have those right angles, those correct angles, but then it would be to the left or to the right of where it's supposed to be there. And they would not be quite perfect. So then you pick your section, slanted section color for the left side and for the right side. So we have clear for the left side because that's white. You could also do white over there and that would work as well, but we just have it set up as clear. And then you have gray for the right side, and then that's what you see showing up there. One thing to keep in mind here, down on this one you'll see that this is blue and transparent. Now if when you start off this will be empty. If you do blue and just leave it as transparent like that, it will not work because then it ends up feeding it nothing. See, there's nothing in the spot, it will feed it nothing. And so you can't have this is actually technically a gradient that we have going on here in the background, and it just doesn't look like one, but it's a gradient. And so then if you go gradient from a color to nothing, then it will fail. There has to be something in that spot. So you can pick whatever color you want, it doesn't matter. And then once you pick out that color though, you just need to make sure then that your opacity is set all the way down to 0. And then it'll look like it's clear here, but then you'll see that there are numbers in that spot. And then it will work just as you want it to. You see here that we have our background image set up there. That's how we're able to get it so that then we still have this guy showing up here. The background image is actually going across the entire thing here, and we're just allowing part of it to show through. Then we have down here, we still have a slanted section here, and it looks like we need to adjust its spacing just a little bit. I think when we made this the wider 1500 pixel wide thing, I think I didn't adjust that and needed to be adjusted just slightly from where it was. So that does need to be adjusted slightly. You'll see that those angles don't quite line up like they should. And then the other big key thing in this though, this is the kicker. I should have said this part earlier on in the process. You have to be able to get it set up so that then the text can wrap around that. The way that we have enabled that is by using horizontal rules. And so then you can put the horizontal rule above whatever content it is that you're wanting to have it line up around. And so it's always going to go above the content. Whether it ends up being that it is going to be to the right or to the left, either one, it's always going to be right above the part that you're wanting to have wrap around that angle. And so then we've put a horizontal rule right here, just after this shortcode stuff, and then we have it right above this H2 stuff here. And so then there is an invisible, I'll even show it to you. There is an invisible purple thing right there. And then it is making it so that then it cannot, come all the way over to this. Those purple things don't actually 100% align with the angle that is here, because we want it to be that eventually then this stuff straightens out if it were to go long enough. But it will keep it out of the way. It should mostly work as as we're wanting it to. And so you put that in there. If that's not there, then it won't wrap around it. It's all going to be messed up. The way that you insert horizontal rules, just in case you don't know already, there's a little button for it up here. And so it's just right here next to the formats and strike through things, and there's a horizontal rule button. And anywhere that you put one of those, then text will wrap around it if you put it right up before that. That should mostly cover what's going on here. And let's see if we can get that lined up a little bit better. Otherwise, though, I think things are mostly in place. That looks like that does line up now. And we are just a little bit off on where those things overlap right there, so I'll have to work on that just a bit. I think that we're mostly good, though, on the way that things are functioning on the site. It's just a little bit clunky. Occasionally, we are probably going to run into problems, so if you run into problems, don't hesitate to let us know. It's more likely our fault than your fault, so then we're happy to help out.